What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Jonathan.
Zelda.
So, we saw Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Was it Frozen Empire?
Frozen.
So, of course, starting Wednesday, one movie a day, I rewatched Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and Afterlife. You, of course, did the same thing.
Oh, what? After what?
Afterlife is the third one. So I was like, on Wednesday I watched Ghostbusters, Thursday I watched Ghostbusters 2, and then Friday I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then on Saturday we watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Oh, yeah.
So you did the same thing, right?
I only watched the Life, what was the one before?
Afterlife.
Life After Life.
Not Life After Life, Afterlife. Life After Life.
Life
It's
After
a sitcom.
Life. I only watched the Afterlife, and then I watched the Ghostbusters.
So you've never seen...
Not that I recall, but I don't think I've ever seen the ones before. Like, you know, I heard, like, I'm familiar with the song, Who You Gonna Call Ghostbusters, but I don't think I've ever watched any of the cartoons or the movies.
The cartoon's good, but you know, that's not necessary.
When I hear Ghostbusters, I think of Casper the Friendly Ghost.
What?
Yeah. That's what I thought it was about at first.
When Nino's like, let's go watch Ghostbusters, you're like, oh, I love Casper.
I really thought Casper was going to be it because, you know, you see the logo, Ghostbusters logo, it looks like
What?
Casper. I had the pin in my pocket still, like, in my purse.
I have mine right here if you don't have yours.
Okay, he
Oh, you
doesn't
got it?
really look like Casper, but... Oh.
Well, the pin is
The
the
pin is
firehouse,
this.
yeah.
The firehouse.
But you can show them the...
Okay, so he kind of looks like Casper's cousin or something. He doesn't look exactly like Casper.
Real talk though, I did think the pin was this.
I
too.
thought the pin was this. I haven't even opened it yet, but it should have been that.
It should have, yeah. But I like the firehouse. I think the firehouse is
pretty
cool.
cool.
But yeah, I was surprised when I saw it too. I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. So you've never seen the 80s version?
No, unless I was really young. No, I don't think I have.
Are you a Bill Murray fan? Do you know which one was Bill Murray?
He's the one. Can I Google him?
Oh dear Lord, yes, you may Google Bill Murray, but wow, okay.
He's the one who's the bald-headed one, right?
I'm gonna text Nino a list of movies to show you.
He's the bald-headed one, right?
Which he wasn't really bald-headed. I mean, he didn't have a lot of hair.
I know who he is.
I'm gonna call him bald.
He is bald. Look.
Bill Murray has hair.
Bill Murray is bald. Do you chat? What is that? Is that bald? Receding hairline.
Receding hairline, I'll give you.
Okay.
But like, are you a Bill Murray fan?
Yes, I love him. He's funny.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've seen a lot of his movies, or?
I've seen a decent amount because I haven't watched a lot of movies, but I've seen a decent amount with him. But I can't really name it. Can you name some, and I'll tell you if I've seen it?
Have you seen Stripes?
Stripes, no.
Groundhog Day?
No.
You never seen Groundhog Day?
No. I didn't know that was a movie.
Zelda.
Is there a groundhog that sees its shadow?
Groundhog Day is a brilliant movie.
Let's see.
Where-
Bill Murray movies that I've seen.
So while you're looking that up, Groundhog Day, he's a reporter and he goes to this town and he has kind of this weird day, and then he wakes up and it's the same day again.
Groundhog's the first thing that pops up.
The phones be listening. And he just keeps repeating the day.
I saw Ant-Man Quantumania.
Okay, hold on. Like, that doesn't count.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
You gotta watch Groundhog Day, though. Groundhog Day is one of the funniest movies
What
ever.
else is he in?
The Dead Don't Die is a new movie, but that's really good.
Dang, he did a lot of ghosts. He did all the ghosts.
He's in, yeah, he was
Jungle
even in
Book.
the,
He's in Jungle Book. I've seen Jungle Book. What else is he in? Dumb and Dumber. I've seen Dumb and Dumber.
we're looking for movies where his part in Zombieland was genius. Lost in Translation. He played Bosley in the old Charlie's Angels movies.
Okay.
It's a Groundhog Day. That's what you gotta watch. You gotta watch
Okay.
Groundhog Day.
I'll watch Groundhog Day because I do like the groundhog that sees.
This isn't all his movies. This is a very limited selection of his
Yeah, because I
movies.
feel like I've seen him in other movies.
Yeah, like they didn't
Google
even
just doesn't put all the movies.
No, they put a very limited selection of his movies.
Well, Bill Murray he's a funny guy.
Where the Buffalo Roam, based on, you know who Hunter S. Thompson is? He's a reporter, but was real kind of out there. He played him. The movie's funny. You see Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp?
No.
Oh, okay. Johnny Depp played the same guy.
Okay.
Tootsie, Stripes, Caddyshack. You gotta watch Caddyshack.
Okay.
Caddyshack is fucking funny.
Okay.
Little Shop of
Scrooge,
Horrors.
he's Scrooge, right?
He is Scrooge. That's my favorite version of A
I've
Christmas
seen
Carol.
him in Scrooge. I have seen
That's
him.
my favorite version of A Christmas Carol. Ed Wood, Kingpin. He was in Space Jam as himself. Wild Things, Rushmore. Moses Jones, remember that? The cartoon Inside Your Body.
Oh yeah, he was that.
Yes, he played Garfield.
He plays Garfield.
Yeah.
The cat?
Yeah.
He plays Garfield. I did
He
not
was
know
a Get
that.
Smart. Like he's genius.
He is.
And Ghostbusters is quintessential Bill Murray. You know Dan Aykroyd, right? He was Ray
Okay.
in Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So he came up with this idea for Ghostbusters, really into the supernatural and real weird and out there things.
Mm-hmm.
So he wrote this script, and it was, I've never read the original, but apparently it's off the wall crazy.
Okay.
And so Ivan Reitman came in and was like, this isn't filmable. And he rewrote it into the original Ghostbusters.
Wow.
So Ivan Reitman on Afterlife was the ghost.
Mhm.
The ghost grandfather.
Yeah.
That's
I
Ivan
remember.
Reitman. Yeah,
Okay.
he died before these movies came out, so that was all CGI.
Wow.
That's why his character wasn't in there, because he died in real life.
Mhm.
But he wrote a lot of these different movies. He was a brilliant writer, funny actor. You watch the original movies; he's really funny too.
Okay.
He plays kind of the straight guy. Him and Ernie Hudson, the black dude, they're the straight guys. Whereas Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray are kind of out there.
Yeah.
Bill Murray is more sarcastic and I'm smarter than everybody out there, whereas Dan Aykroyd's just insane. Right? You get that?
Yeah.
But you gotta watch the originals. They're
I
so
do.
good. So,
Because after watching the new ones, they pay tribute to the original.
well, Afterlife, it's the same bad guys.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Same
you know
bad
the
guys?
bad guy that they're after in Afterlife.
Mhm.
Remember on the wall, it was saying the different years.
Yeah.
And the year right before the current one was 1984. That was the original Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So they're like, this is a direct sequel to the original one, and he was trying to stop what they started to stop then. But it's so great. It's so funny, and it's poking fun of society. And for an '80s movie, it has pretty decent graphics.
Yeah.
You have to watch Ghostbusters. It's the one with the the little tiny Stay Puft marshmallows that were in these movies.
Yeah.
The first movie is the giant one that's destroying New York.
Oh, they have a giant marshmallow.
Yes.
Those marshmallows are so cute.
And then in Frozen Empire, where they're like, we haven't seen this much activity since the Statue of Liberty walked through New York. That's the second movie.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because they made so many references
To the first two.
other movies, and I'm like, dang, I do need to watch them.
You really do. You really gotta watch them
Yeah.
because they're so great.
Mhm.
Like rewatching them, I'm like, man, I love these movies.
Yeah.
Like they're so brilliant and funny and creative.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
And these movies are good, but I mean, I love these movies, but they're not as good as the originals. The first two are the best.
I know that you cannot really. The originals, you can't really beat them.
No, the one thing I do love about these movies, and Ernie Hudson even came out and thanked the creators of these movies, because you watch the first two movies, he's the fourth Ghostbuster. It's Ivan Reitman, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. They're the stars.
Yeah.
And then there's Ernie.
Oh.
But these movies, they made him. He's the money man. He's kind of in charge of everything.
Yeah.
I love that they finally gave him his due and
That's
kind of made
nice.
him important.
Yeah.
Because he kind of got the short staff in
Aw,
the.
well, it's nice that he has like a bigger role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of all the original cast, I feel like he kind of has the biggest role, don't you? Like
Yeah, in this new movie.
in the new movie.
Yeah, definitely.
They paid him tribute, but I love this movie. I thought this Frozen Empire was really fun. Well, spoilers, I guess we'll do spoilers. So everyone's in New York now, because the last movie they were like what, in Missouri or something, or
Because she moved. The last movie she had moved. Oh, did she move states?
so in the last movie they went there because
She got.
Ivan's character just died and he left her his house, and so they went to go check the house, but they got evicted, so they were forced to move there.
Yeah.
And so that's when we meet Lucky, the one girl, and then Podcast, the little kid.
Yeah.
And then they start ghostbusting and they fight the monster from the first movie. And then at the end of the movie, all the Ghostbusters show up and they stop the big bad. And Ernie Hudson reopens the firehouse. And it's kind of implied that's where they're going to be living. So in this movie, Paul Rudd is now dating the mom, which was started on the last movie.
Yeah, started on the last
And they're all, that whole family's living together.
Yeah.
Podcast is lying to his parents about being in space camp so that he can intern for Dan Aykroyd.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lucky is interning for Ernie Hudson at the Ghostbusters Super Laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
So it brings all the characters back now in LA. Or not in LA, now in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Completely wrong place. So that was fun.
They were in LA first. Well,
yeah. No, they were in Missouri.
Missouri.
And so now the mayor, who, if you watch the original Ghostbusters, you did not.
I did not.
So the mayor, the guy who's like, I've been waiting all this time to take you down. He was an advisor to the mayor in the first Ghostbuster movie.
In Missouri?
No, in New York. The first two movies take place in New York.
New York, okay.
The 80s movie, and he was trying to stop them, and they beat him. And didn't get stopped because they saved New York.
Okay.
So this is him getting his revenge. So he's one of the villains from the first movie, brought back.
Okay. Which I still don't understand. Like, he was like hating on them for just capturing the ghosts, but they were also destroying the city. And I'm like, which one would you rather like? Would you like your city to be overrun by ghosts?
Well, in the first movie, he didn't believe them, which is understandable.
Okay.
And then when it came out they were telling the truth, he got fired.
Yeah.
So this movie, I don't think it's like, I'd rather New York be destroyed than trust you guys. To me, it was, I'm getting revenge because you got me fired.
That's probably what it was.
But if you've never seen the first movie, I don't know if you would get his motivation.
I didn't get it because I was like, why are you so angry? Like, there's a giant
because
monster
he got them
ghost.
fired.
Yeah, so that makes more sense. Because when this movie, when it first starts, you see a giant
They're like the Hell's Kitchen water dragon.
The dragon, and they save the city from the dragon, and the mayor gets all upset. And I'm like, why are you upset?
But when the mayor was an advisor to the old mayor, he got fired because of it. Okay. So it's his revenge.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's all just layers upon layers of paying tribute to what came before.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is, you know when I always say, like, I love 80s movies? Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 were as 80s as you can get.
Yeah.
And these movies really pay tribute to Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Like, it's a love letter to those old movies while doing something new.
Because this new one had pretty much all the same people from the original, right?
Rick Moranis hasn't come back. I was hoping he would show up because, I mean, he retired when his wife died. He retired to raise his kids. Okay. But I imagine his kids have to be grown by now. And I think he was in talks to come back to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids reboot. Okay. So I thought maybe there might be a chance, kind of like how Sigourney Weaver did in the first movie where she shows him the post-credit scene. I thought maybe he would do that here.
In like the post-credit scene.
But he didn't.
Aww. How awesome would it have been if he showed in the post-credit scene?
That would have been incredible. I would have been so happy. That's what I was waiting for. I really thought that was going to happen.
Aww.
I love him. He's such a great actor.
He just pretty much stayed, like, he retired.
He retired to raise his kids.
Okay.
Which is honorable.
Yeah.
But he was so funny. Aww. You gotta watch the first movies just for him. He's genius in it. I think Paul Rudd is kind of taking his place in these new movies, except Paul Rudd is not as bumbling as he was.
He's not as bumbling?
Paul Rudd? No. Paul Rudd is a lot more... I mean, he's bumbling, but not as bumbling.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. You gotta watch the old ones.
Okay, now I gotta watch the old ones.
Because
I thought Paul Rudd was really, like, I don't know.
Bumbling. And then Slimer. So, you know, Stranger Things kid, where he was like, had his own battle with the poltergeist in the attic that was eating all the snacks. Slimer, that's Slimer. The green one. He's in the first two movies.
Oh.
Like little roles in the first two movies.
There? Oh man. That's funny.
So it's little things like that are fun and like, oh, that's awesome.
So he returned.
Yes. But you gotta watch the first one. Like the first movie opens up. Bill Murray is so. Remember the post credit scene for Afterlife where she's like, "What's the card?" and he's guessing what it is, and like it comes out that he had the cards marked.
Yeah.
So the first movie, in the beginning of the first movie, he's doing that for two college kids. Like a boy's right here and a girl's right here, and the girl's pretty. And so he'll ask the guy, and the guy will get it right, and he'll go, "Sorry, wrong," and shock him, and then he'll ask the girl. Or the guy will get it wrong, but even when the guy got it right, he was still shocking, whether he got it right or wrong. The girl will get it completely wrong, and he's like, "Are you cheating? Are you like, just straight up flirting with her?" But
are you cheating?
Well, you got it right, so you don't get shocked.
Wow.
Just such a sleazebag, but you love it. You know,
That's awesome.
It's great. Those are movies. Like, we need more movies like that. Those movies are fun.
Yeah, I agree.
So after the movies, you and Nina went home and just played Sims?
Well, I played Sims. He played some League of Legends game.
League of Legends?
Yeah.
I drove an hour and a half to go watch 3 more movies. That was the goal.
That was the goal.
The first movie was You Can Call Me Bill. Keep in mind, an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah, all the way, because you're in Fort Worth and we went
to Frisco.
the other side of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long drive. I drove past 2 carnivals on the way there. Which I was like, I didn't even know there were any carnivals in town.
Irving Mall always has carnivals for
yeah.
some reason.
And then outside this mall was fancy. This Stonebriar Mall.
Stonebriar is like the rich people mall.
Like, there's a whole section of the parking lot, which would be like the whole parking lot of Walmart, which just has inflatables that little kids are playing on.
What?
And I'm like, why? We don't have this for kids.
We don't have that. What?
Our kids have nothing.
They have nothing. That's crazy.
So I went to go watch the documentary, You Can Call Me Bill. Now, are you a big William Shatner fan or no?
I mean, I haven't watched a lot of the movies.
I'm gonna meet him in June. I'm very excited.
I know. I can't wait for...
So, you've seen the original Star Trek? Any of it, or no?
I mean, I've seen Star Trek. I don't think I've seen the original.
So, you haven't seen any with William Shatner?
Well, I know I've seen him when he was... You know the picture he's using?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's using a younger picture.
That's it for Star Trek. Funny side note about William Shatner, because this is great. When we were young, we were like 18, 19 at the time, we were taking a computer science class. And every day the teacher would take roll.
Oh, yeah.
And about halfway through the semester, the teacher stops behind Zelda and goes, "I'm really sorry. I've wanted to do this all year." And you were like, "What?"
I know.
And he just goes, "God!" I was dying. And then I look over at you and you're just like, "What's he doing?"
I was like, what?
It's like, "That's from Star Trek." And you're like, "It is?" Like, you had no clue the reference he was making.
I think that's the only reason I passed this class. But
I was dying because you look so confused.
I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh, yeah, that's my last name.
I had to explain. I was like, William Shatner screams that name real dramatically in the second movie. Like, I had to explain the whole thing to her, but she was lost.
I was so lost. I was like, okay.
I just can't believe that no one's ever done that to you before.
Yeah, no one. Must not have been a Star Trek fan. I don't know.
He's in one episode, and then he's in a movie. Oh, the new show brought him back as a kid, so you can watch that as well. But you should watch the episodes with the con in it. They're good. They're really good episodes. The second movie is widely regarded as the best movie of the series.
Okay.
Where you're the villain.
I'm a villain. Okay.
She's a bad guy.
Apparently.
So, I've never really watched T.J. Hooker. I don't know if you've seen T.J. Hooker.
No.
He's a cop. Never really seen it.
Okay.
Boston Legal? You've seen Boston Legal?
Nope.
Oh my god, you gotta watch Boston Legal. Boston Legal is so good. It's so, have you ever seen The Practice?
The law firm practice?
It's a show. The Practice is about a show about lawyers. Yeah.
Like Suits?
So, Suits is about corporate law.
Mm-hmm.
The Practice were about this small law firm that was doing mostly criminal justice cases.
Oh.
Some cases for small businesses, but it was a real small, broke law firm.
Okay.
The dude from the first season of American Horror Story was the lead.
Tate?
I don't know.
Peter? What's his face?
So the first season of American Horror Story, the Murder House.
Yeah.
The dad.
Oh, it was the dad.
The dad. He was the star of the practice.
I was thinking about the kid.
No. The dad was the star of the practice.
Okay.
And so, but then he leaves the show like the last season or two, and James Spader. You know who James Spader is, right? Ultron from Avengers.
Oh, Ultron. I know that.
So, he becomes one of the lawyers at the law firm for the last couple seasons, and so the last season he's suing the law firm, and he hires the law firm from Boston Legal to represent him. But Boston Legal isn't a show yet, so he hires William Shatner and a few other people, and they sue the old law firm. And then that season is kind of like season 0. It's the last season of the practice, but the unofficial first season of Boston Legal. So then when the real first season of Boston Legal starts, James Spader starts working for Boston Legal. And Boston Legal is more suits. It's corporate law.
Okay.
So you would like that. But it's not, you know how Suits is a drama?
Yeah.
With comedic elements. This is a comedy with drama elements.
Oh, okay.
And so William Shatner plays one of the founding partners at the law firm. But he's also, he says he has mad cow disease. Really, he has early onset, not early onset, but he has the early stages of dementia. Oh. So over the course of the show, he's kind of starting to lose his mind. Oh. But he's an arrogant, womanizing lawyer who's never lost a case.
Okay.
But he's also starting to lose his memory a little bit. So it's playing a lot with that. But even with his mind starting to go, he's still better than every other lawyer there.
Wow.
You gotta. It's such a brilliant. It's so funny. It's only 5 seasons, but it's so funny.
Okay.
The Practice used to cross over with Ally McBeal. Did you watch that?
No.
Okay. She doesn't like David E. Kelly.
I don't even know who David E. Kelly is. I'm sorry.
He made a lot of TV shows.
These must have been in the 80s.
No, these were the 2000s. These were the 2000s, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like the early 2000s. So you've never seen any William Shatner TV shows? You seen Shit My Dad Says?
Was that a sitcom?
It was a sitcom.
No.
Okay.
Shit My Dad Says.
It was based off a Twitter account that went viral. So you've never really seen any William Shatner stuff?
Probably not.
Oh. Well,
yeah, I just see him like in...
As a pop culture icon.
As a pop culture icon, basically.
So I'm a huge William Shatner fan. I love the original Star Trek series. It's still my favorite Star Trek series. He's my favorite captain.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're making a documentary, and it's only showing this weekend, and the closest theater was an hour and a half away. I'm going to go watch it. So I drove all that way, and it was beautiful. I thought it was going to be a documentary about his life, but it was really... And I remember reading him talking about it ahead of time, and he was like, I am making this movie now because I'm 93. He just turned 93 last week. Or the week before, and he was like...
I don't know what he looks like, because in that picture...
You're so bothered by this!
Sorry, he uses the picture when he's younger, and I'm like, oh, he looks really good. And I thought that's what he looked like now. And I was like, isn't he up there in age? He looks so good. But I didn't realize that was a picture.
He's 93, so...
I didn't realize that he was using the picture of his younger self.
Yeah. You ever see Third Rock from the Sun?
No.
Oh my god, he's in Third Rock from the Sun. He plays the big giant head. It's great. Third Rock from the Sun is one of the funniest sitcoms ever. You have to watch that.
Okay.
But so this document is, he wanted to do something so that his family would have something to remember him by when he's gone. Aww. And this whole documentary, it's great. You should watch it. It's very depressing. He's really just talking about death the whole time.
Is he talking about his life from the
He's talking about his life, but it's not a traditional documentary. Like what you're talking about is what I thought it was going to be. Like, well, I got my break here, or when I was a kid I went here, and he talks about horses, he talks about death, he talks a little bit about acting. He's really just, it's him talking with archive footage and some reenactment stuff about his life and his ideas. Okay. And it's not linear, it's not like in order, and it's just kind of free form, him talking about things he wants to talk about. Okay. And it's really brilliant, but it's also very much like, man, I'm getting old and I'm going to die. Like, I was thinking that when I was watching it. I was like, God, what have I done with my life? I'm going to be deceased soon.
So you're thinking about that about yourself.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you're not in your 90s.
It was just so much, because there's words like, by the time this comes out, I'm going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award, and what's the point of life, and what makes life worth living? And I'm like, yeah, what does make life worth living?
He's had so many achievements, but he's 90 because he's lived a full, fruitful life.
I know.
You're still young.
It just made me think about my mortality. I was just like, my God.
I think it's a good message because, you know, he's saying he's gotten all these achievements and, you know, he's still got plenty of years left.
Yeah.
Even though he's 93, people can live to be like 110.
I mean, Betty White was still spry at 99.
Yeah, she lived almost. She almost.
I think she was a week
birthday.
Shy.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, oh my God, hold on for a week.
Yeah. Like he still has like years to do stuff if he wants.
He's still in the thing. He was riding a horse.
That's awesome.
So yeah, he's still spry. But I don't know. It made me think about my mortality. I was like, my God, like. Yeah. What have I done?
But it should have been like, oh, I could have, because we're so young. We're like, we kind of feel like we're old, but we're.
It just made me think I need a family, I need a wife and kids.
Yeah, I think about that too. But then I see like people in their 40s, they are still like starting their family. Cameron Diaz, she's 49 and she just recently had a son.
To be fair though, I think some of those actors are freezing their eggs.
I don't know if she froze hers.
But also, we are living longer, so we have more time now, it feels like. You know, like before life was kind of over at 65. Like it was like that when you're old. You watch the first season of Cheers. Just watch the first episode.
Okay.
And then look at them, and then look at us. We're older than some of them.
Right now, we're older than them?
Than they were in the first season of Cheers. Oh. The cast of Cheers in the first season were in their 30s, early to mid 30s. Not Woody. Woody was in his 20s, but he wasn't in the first season. And Coach was, I think, like 50. But look at Coach at 50. And it's like, wow. I know 50-year-olds do not look like that. And then look at us, and it's like, we look way younger than they did.
Wow.
It's insane.
But it's just like seeing all these people, like William Shatner in his 90s, and he's still achieving things. It's like, it kind of gives me hope. Like,
so it doesn't make you think about immortality.
It doesn't make me think that way, because it's like, he's in his 90s, and he's showing you, hey, this is what I've achieved, this is what I'm doing now. Like, I just
need to become famous so that I can have a lot of money.
Well, you don't have to be famous. It's just like, you still have plenty of time to do whatever you want to do.
I guess that's a better way to look at things.
Yeah, that's how I picture him in his 90s. And he's going to be at Comic-Con.
At 90?
Yeah.
Like 2-3 years ago, he went to space. He was on that Blue Origin thing and went to space.
That's amazing.
He talked about that a lot in this thing, too. It was great. It was well worth an hour and a half drive.
That's nice.
But my thought was like, I drove this far. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to turn around. I didn't drive an hour and a half to watch an hour and a half movie and then drive an hour and a half home. So I was like, I'm going to watch 2 more movies. So the next movie I was going to watch is One Life.
What was that about?
So One Life is this drama about this old man who, back during World War II, helped people survive the Nazis.
Okay.
And then from the trailer, it looks like... it then talks about like he's having a hard time coping with his life now and his mortality. I don't know why I keep watching movies about mortality. That's freaking me out. But it's very much about his mortality. It's like, what have I done with my life? And the whole movie's like, look at all these people you've saved. Look at their families, the generations who only exist because of you. It seems like a really sad, heartwarming story. And then the last movie I was going to watch was called Late Night with the Devil. Takes place in the 70s and is about a late night talk show host who interviews a girl who's possessed by the devil, and then the devil comes out.
Is that real?
I don't know, but it looked amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Never got to see it.
So it's supposed to be a real interview.
Well, it's a movie.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's based on a true story. I think it's fiction, probably.
Oh, man. That would have been cool if it was real.
So, after the William Shatner documentary, I had like a half hour to kill, or like 20 minutes to kill. So I went to the Barnes and Nobles, which was downstairs, hung out there for a little bit, and then I went in the movie. And I always get everywhere a little early. And so when I bought the tickets, the entire theater was empty. I was the only one who had tickets. So I was like, oh, cool. When I get there were 4 high school kids sitting next to me. It looked like 2 couples. My chair would be here, guy, girl, guy. Right? And so I was like, I don't like sitting next to people in a movie theater. I kind of like my little space.
Yeah.
Unless I know them. Like, you know, when we went with you and Eno, that's cool. I friends is fine, but...
Exactly. It's like we always try to get seats, like, not next to people.
Yeah, I don't want to sit next to strangers.
Yeah.
Especially...
High schoolers.
Well, I wasn't even going to go high schoolers. They're on a date.
Yeah.
I know, like, when I went with Simon to the movies, we talked a little more than we should have. And that's fine, you're on a date, whatever. So I was like, I don't want to sit next to them. So I sat at the far end, like as far away from them as I could on the back row. Because I always like to sit like on the top row so I can, you know, see everything and all that.
Yeah.
But then I looked on the app and I was like, fuck, someone has these seats. So the only open seats in the entire theater was mine and the seat right next to mine.
Oh.
So I was like, so I went outside and I was like, all right, because I didn't want to just get up and scoot over. So I went out and then I was like, do I sit in my normal seat or do I sit the other seat? And I was like,
so you kind of waited to see. Like...
Well, I was weighing the options. I was like, well, there's going to be people there. I don't know what they are. What if they have like a lot of food or whatever? So I went back in and I sat in my chair. And I was like, I'm just going to sit in my chair. They're young. Hopefully they have some manners.
Yeah.
So I sit in my chair and then they're talking and giggling and flirting and I was like, this is going to get annoying.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think they're going to stop when the movie starts. So then I got out and left again, came back in and took the other chair. I was like, this is as far away from them as I can get. So there's an empty chair and then this.
You want the other chair.
And I was like, the movie was about to start. All the trailers had played and I was like, this couple never came. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to move down. And then right as I started to get up, the couple walked in. And they were like in their 40s, 50s, whatever. And they sit down. And I'm like, okay, I'm stuck.
Oh.
So the movie starts. And they don't stop talking and giggling and laughing.
Time?
Well, so there's words playing, and as I'm reading, it's I can't make out what they're saying, but you know. And then I just start hearing kissing, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna be kissing the whole time, which whatever. But the problem is this movie doesn't really have a score. It's played very dry, so it's talking and all that. So every time like they're doing something, but there's no music playing, I'm just hearing them kissing, and I'm like, okay, this is
that is annoying.
It's getting annoying, yes. And then, so it's you know, the movie theater's dark, right? And the girl was very white. She's like my white.
Yeah.
I just start seeing out of the corner of my eye this flashing motion going like this. And I'm like, well, that's weird. I was like, I don't want to look over to see what that is. Then I see light flashing every so often like that from that side. And then I kind of glance over, and yeah, sure enough, it's her hand going like this while she's kissing the guy. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I look away, and I'm just like, this is... So I'm sitting there like this, because I'm like, I don't want to see this. I just want to watch the movie. Luckily, there's an empty seat in between us. Then the other girl, starts talking on the phone. And people are like, shh, shut up. Oh, no, I'm just at the movie. And her, I can hear. She's not like... She's loud. She's like when I'm trying to whisper. Rah, I'm at the movies. Oh, yeah, no, I'll be home later. Yeah, no, I'm just at the movies. Oh, no, I'm not doing it. I'm like,
oh, my God.
And people are like, shh, shut up. Like, and this movie's limited release, too. This movie's only playing at 1 or 2 theaters. You have to drive kind of far. And I'm just like, this is so fucking annoying. And I was like, I want to say something, but I also don't want to look in the direction of the hand job that's happening right next to me. And so then I'm just looking at the movie. And then the couple, so the guy's sitting here and then his wife's sitting there. And then I'm going like this, and I see the wife, and the wife goes...
She just straight up looks at it.
And then she's like... And the husband's like, what? Because you could tell he was engrossed in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I don't even know what's happening in the movie because I'm just like, she stop giving this guy a hand job while I'm trying to watch the movie? And she goes, she's jerking him off. And the husband goes, what? And he looks over, and she's like, why is he doing it in the movie? The husband's like, I don't know, it's not her business. Like, let's just watch the film. That's what he said? Yeah, he was just like, I don't know, let's just watch the movie. And she's just like, well, who does that in the public theater? And I was like, I know. And the whole time, the girl's still talking. And so I'm just like, I'm going home.
So the couple didn't even hear them talking about that?
I don't know. I didn't want to look. But I just got up and I was like, I'm going home. So I never finished that movie. I never saw the second movie. I drove an hour and a half home. But who the fuck does that?
That's why I'll never... Because it's not like an AMC movie. It's just like a...
No, I went to an AMC theater.
Oh, it was AMC?
It was AMC, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Because that's all we ever do is AMC movies.
But who does that? And in a packed theater.
Yeah.
There was only one empty seat in the entire theater.
You should have said something.
Put your dick away? Like, what am I supposed to say to that?
Be like, hey, can you stop that? Go outside. You know, this is a public theater. Or, because I'm kind of like you, I don't like being, like, direct. I would have probably just been a Karen and went to the manager.
I thought about that, but I was like... So here's one. If it was the girl on the phone, someone had already said something, but I would have said something too. But it was because they were in between me and that girl. I was like, I don't want to look in that direction. I see her hand moving. I don't want to see this dude's junk if it's all the way out.
But that's weird. Why go to a movie theater and why go to one about World War I?
That's World War II. That was my thing. I was like, out of every movie, it's this one.
Why?
Talking about dead people, and this is the movie that you're like, let me get off that?
I just don't understand.
But I thought about it because I was like, I should say something to them. But I was like, but this is just weird. Like, hey, stop messing around next to me.
Because, you know, they could get in trouble for that because it's public indecency.
Oh, it's also a lewd act in public.
Yeah, like, they could have, like, got arrested. You should have, because then they wouldn't do that again.
My thought process was like, because when I first left, I was like, do I go home or do I report them to somebody? But I was like, I don't like people who report things, so I'd feel really shitty. And then my other thought, on top of I don't want to be the one to report them because I'd feel like shitty about it, my also thought was like, most of the people working here are young high school kids. What if they know them? And I'm asking some poor dude to be like, hey, you know those kids that you probably have class with? Can you go tell them to stop jerking? What if I tell this guy?
Not only that, like, what if someone had their kids in the movie theater?
True.
You don't want them to see that.
No. So. But in my head, I built this elaborate scenario that I'm going to go tell someone, hey, I'm sitting in theater 2, this girl is jacking this guy off. Can you please go tell them something? The manager will be like, oh, fine. Jeremy, go in theater 2 and tell him to stop. And Jeremy's like, oh, okay. And he goes in there and he finds his girlfriend jacking this guy off. And he's just heartbroken and devastated.
Well, then he would know who he's dating. That would be a good thing.
Or it's his sister. And he's like, sister, what are you doing?
Either way, you should have reported it.
Or
because then you would have got to finish your movie and you got to figure out do you even know what happened?
No, I have no idea.
And now you'll never know.
Or
what if it was the greatest movie you've ever seen?
It looked brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
Yeah,
I don't even know it's going to still be playing next weekend.
I reported it.
Or what if he told an older lady to go get it and it's the boy's mother?
I think after you left, maybe the couple next to you probably went and reported it.
Maybe.
Because you said she kept talking about it.
She kept talking about it, which was the other annoyance. So this girl's talking on the phone, this lady's talking about the hand job next to me. And I'm just like, I cannot enjoy this movie.
You know, like when you're giving them a hand job, they're going to finish.
That was my other concern. Like, where is that going to go when it finishes?
And then you're going to mess up the seat, and then someone's got it. Someone had to bound to be reporting it. Like, they can't be that quiet, right? I'm sure other people heard, and maybe after you left, hopefully someone reported it.
Yeah, maybe I should have reported it. It was just so uncomfortable that I was just like, I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen to me before.
That's really disgusting and gross, and especially like if you have a family with a kid, I would be upset. I would go up to them and be like, hey,
can you put that away?
Yeah. That's just, people are so disrespectful.
Like, but there's like, they have nowhere else to go. To a packed movie? They didn't even find an empty movie theater.
No.
They went to a packed... Every seat but one was filled.
So it was packed.
It was like basically sold out.
Wow.
And they're like, let's do this here.
Oh my gosh. Maybe there was something wrong with them mentally. There had to be.
Well, they're kids. Like, I'm telling you, like, when I first walked in, they looked like they were 16 or 17. These were high school kids. These weren't grown adults. These were kids. Mm-hmm. Which made it a whole other level of, this is disgusting. I don't want to be around this.
Oh.
Like, they should not do that.
Yeah.
If you're in high school and you're going to the movies, don't do that in the movies.
Don't do it in any public place or you will go to jail.
Isn't that how Pee Wee Herman got arrested?
Yeah.
Like, masturbating in I think he was at a porn theater, but still.
Yeah.
He got in trouble for that. These kids should have gotten in trouble for it.
If you reported them, they would have gotten in trouble.
I guess it's my fault. I should have reported them.
You should have.
But it was so weird and uncomfortable. And I was like, and now I have to explain to someone who works there, hey, yo, they're masturbating. Well, not masturbating, she's jacking them
I
out.
wonder
Like,
how many times they've,
gotten away with it?
Or they've gotten those complaints. I don't know.
I've never worked at a movie. Well, Nino worked at a movie theater.
Yeah, he's never really talked about those because I forgot which movie theater he worked at.
I thought it was AMC.
But I don't know which area.
Oh.
If it was in Michigan or if it was here.
And he's never experienced
that?
it?
He's never told me if he experienced that. So.
When I worked at Traders, I would make friends with a lot of the vendors' kids would come by all the time. Mm-hmm. And so I would give them free rides because I would see them all the time. So I'd be like, oh, you guys don't have to pay. You could just go on the ride. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. And so, I would joke around with them. And then I would also send them on errands like, go get me a soda. Well, we got free sodas in the car. So I just give them my cup like, go get me a soda while I'm working. And I would give them free rides in exchange. And it was a fair. They were stuck there all day.
That's nice.
And, it was a community. Mm-hmm. So, these kids, these like 3 girls, they used to come there a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't know where their parents work, but they would always there like every weekend. Mm-hmm. And so I was working on the Sky Dancer, the one that goes up in the air. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that.
So they were on that, and I was just chilling. A lot of times when I was running the rides, I would read books. Yeah. I'd bring books and just read while it was running. Yeah. And so they were coming down. And they were screaming at me when they were up there, like, oh my God, you gotta see this, you gotta see this. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So it comes down, and as I'm unlocking the gates, because you lock the gates. Uh-huh. And I unlock this one gate, and this couple gets out, and they look kind of flush. And I'm like, don't think anything of it. And then I unlocked, their gate was right next to it, and I was like, what's going on? Like, why are you guys yelling? And I was like, that girl was giving him a blowjob on the ride. I was like, what?
I just don't understand.
So that was the closest I've ever seen before. But I didn't see it. I was just sad to report it back to me.
It's like, do you guys not have somewhere to go that's private? Maybe they don't know, like, there are laws.
But this couple was an adult. Like, the one that Traders, they were adults. They weren't kids. These were at least kids.
That's so gross.
The adults definitely had somewhere to go.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, that's the only other experience I've ever seen of something like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it again. It was reported to me from other people. From kids. Well, you're right. Kids seen it. Because these girls were like...
And that's why these kids are so fucked up now.
Yeah. Because the kids who told me that, the oldest was like 15, 16. The youngest was like 12 or 13. Mm-hmm. It was like sisters. Dang. So it's just like, yeah. So kids saw that. Like, this is not okay.
No, it's not.
People shouldn't be... I sound like such an old prude. But it's still like, it's weird.
That is really weird.
It's just weird to me. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what to do with society.
Start reporting them. Be Karen.
I guess that's what you have to do, right? But then also, the other part I was thinking was like, these are kids. Like I said, probably 16, 17 years old. Mm-hmm. That is technically indecent exposure. It's a lewd act in public. Mm-hmm. These kids are stupid and they shouldn't be doing it. They're definitely rude and inconsiderate. Mm-hmm. And kind of gross because you're doing that in front of other people. Mm-hmm. But I don't want them to have, like, be sex offenders for it. They're stupid. They're kids. Like... If you report it and the movie theater press charges, wouldn't they then be sex offenders?
But what if they go out and do it again at other places? I think you have to stop the act, at least tell them, because you don't know, maybe give them a warning, or some people, even if they get a warning, they do it again. I think you have to have like consequences for your actions so you don't do it again.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I guess me just leaving didn't really solve anything, but it got me out of the situation.
Yeah, you got yourself out of the situation.
And I did keep thinking, like, he's gonna finish, and I don't know where that's gonna land, and I don't want to be around. I just feel
sorry for the dude who has to clean that up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's Jeremy, that girl's other boyfriend.
Because someone, they clean the movie theaters, or if they don't clean the movie theaters,
The person who sits there next?
Someone's gonna sit there next.
Oh, God. These kids should be charged.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's like, if you're gonna kiss in the movie theater, fine. Mm-hmm. But you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
That was too far.
Kids are just annoying.
They're disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I just had to tell that story because that was wild, and I don't need to be the only person who knows that happened.
Yeah.
But
that
alright.
was really wild.
I know I called you right after I left. I was like, this is insane.
How do you always get into these weird situations?
It just finds me. I don't know.
Like, what?
Every time I leave the house, I feel like something weird happens.
Something always weird happens.
God. Like today, me and my mom went to this like farmer's market thing, and they were like, this dude was selling salsa, so we had a taste test.
Yeah.
And I passed the taste test. I went all the way to the hottest without even like phasing me at all. Mm-hmm. That's cool weird. Like I like that. Like, hey, do you want to have a random heat test? Okay. Oh. I'm cool with things like that. That's just more of that and less of I want to jack off my boyfriend while I'm sitting right next to you. No, don't do that. No. That's bad.
No.
Oh God! Anything you want to add? Or?
No. It was a very like.
It started with Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Give us a Ghostbuster 4.
Oh.
No,
this is technically 4.
4 or 5.
So Ghostbusters 5. Unless you count the girl Ghostbusters.
How old is Bill Murray? He's not in his 90s yet, right?
No. Probably 70s or 60s.
So he can give us he can give us another Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's not like he's in the whole movie. He's in parts. He comes and goes. Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us more Ghostbusters movies. I enjoyed it. Apparently this one is not being reviewed well, but I thought it was fun. I actually kind of liked it better than Afterlife.
Me too. I thought it was really humorous, and I liked the monsters, how dark it was.
And Patton Oswalt.
Was he the fire god?
No, he was. Fire god is also. He was the dude in the library.
Oh yeah.
But he was great. It was a great movie. Like it's really worth watching. You should definitely check it out. If you like Ghostbusters, this is what you're wanting from it. I don't know what people were expecting, but this feels like a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah. If you like, bussin'. He's like, bussin' makes me feel good.
I do love it. He just kept saying the song, and she was like, "Stop!
Yeah.
Don't do it." I do love the whole time was Paul Rudd trying to fill that father role, but not knowing where he fits in, and then at the end, the little girl not little girl, but the teenager calls him dad. And the mom's like, "You earned that."
Yeah, he's like, "Did you hear that?"
I thought that was really
sweet. That was so cute. I was like,
"Oh." It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it was. It was really fun.
Go watch it, but just not at the Stonebriar AMC.
Don't go to the Stonebriar.
Never go to the Stonebriar.
Boycott the Stonebriar.
Boycott it until they deep clean and just replace all of those seats.
This needs to be a PSA.
Oh, dear Lord. But alright, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Zelda.
Give us legends.
Give us boycotts.
Give us boycotts?